last year. I am a cervical dystonia and trigeminal neuralgia sufferer. I deal with chronic pain on a daily basis and a movement disorder that makes it incredibly hard to control my hands, my head, my neck, my body, and my voice, even in a lot of ways. So, I wanted to take the opportunity to put my experiences out there in hopes that maybe it would help others who are diagnosed with similar condition or the same condition, be able to see a little bit about what I've gone through and my experience with Botox injections that I started receiving in April of this year. I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia in September 2024 and cervical dystonia in January 2025. I've been in and out of the emergency rooms, the urgent care, and practically every specialist I could think of or that my doctor could think of to try to diagnose where the pain in my face was coming from. The cervical dystonia diagnosis in January 2025 led to some very promising results with regards to treatments and just overall understanding of my condition. I suffer from a pull of the head to the right side of my body, and because of this, it impacts the trigeminal nerve that runs through the left side of my face. Um, I experience tremors in my hand, my head, and my neck, mostly my voice as well. So if you hear my voice is a little shaky, that happens from time to time. I've gotten much better at just being confident with it and rolling with whatever is happening. It's just happening, but I do tend to twitch, move, and just kind of overall shake all the time, all the time. Um, I'm gonna show you what my hands look like because my first round of Botox I had in April of this year has all but worn off, if not completely. And I'm about to go in for my next round of Botox in about 12 days, which cannot come soon enough because it really did offer me quite a bit of relief. And I wanted to just give others hope and insight that if you're experiencing this same condition, that maybe this will encourage you to try the treatment as well, and maybe you'll have good results. I do know it varies depending on the person, but I'll give you just some general gist of like where my condition falls. Okay, so I'm going to show you my hands first, and oftentimes they have me look away and think about something else to just kind of distract from like focusing too hard on my hands. So I'm just gonna think about my puppies real quick. Okay, so these are my hands. Today is a pretty good day with regards to the tremor. It's not the worst it has been. It's not the best that it's been, but it is pretty evident because that Botox has worn off, and my condition is just kind of back to what it was prior to treatment. I do take an array of medications. Some of them are anti-seizure medications to help with what's happening, and some of the general medications such as primidone, which many people who suffer from essential tremors will take. The nerve pain, I take the gabapentin. My brain has a tendency to go a little slow sometimes, so bear with me if I can't quite think of the word real quick. But I'm going to show you my hands, and we'll talk about some of the other parts of my body that respond to this dystonia. So my hands, I'm going to think Molly, 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 Molly. That's my puppy. She is about just shy of a year old right now. And then my dog Loki, who is 2 years old. And you may often see them in the background. This is what the bed behind me is for. They like to sleep back there, and I just like seeing them in my webcams. So um, you may see them from time to time or even hear them bark. So these are my hands. Um, I'm gonna like show you. Um, Let's see, what else can I think about just to distract. Yeah, I think that's about enough. Okay, so we'll see how that came out on the video. And then the other thing is my head, and I don't know how much of it you can see in the webcam. It's kind of hard to tell from here, but when I turn my head to the right like this, it helps it not feel quite so bad. So I do tend to be a little bit more right angled. I will tend to favor this side of my face. Oftentimes it will result into me holding my head like this, like this. I'll hold it, I'll have one of these things going on. That will help me like kind of basically hold my head still, as still as I can get it. And then because of that, it causes my head to and my posture to be really, really poor. I tend to have what they call a gooseneck, in which my head will go forward, and that it's almost impossible, I swear, for me to be able to stand up straight and hold it together that way for long periods of time without getting incredibly fatigued or causing the tremor to get worse, because as my body gets tired, it gets worse. So if I'm lacking in sleep, or I'm lacking in food, or I'm increased in stress, then those things can all add to the condition, making it just that much worse. So right now I am, like I said, kind of coming off of, or have all but come off of, the last round of Botox that I had at the end of April. And I have a new round of Botox that comes, that I'm getting in August 12th. So again, I can't wait. I'm counting down the days because it was super helpful for me the last time. And I'm really excited to kind of tweak it and see what happens with the next round, because they said that was really the initial round, and we're working to see just like what exactly works for me. But when I first started going through all of this in June of last year, I couldn't find a whole lot of support or resources on what I was experiencing. And then with my diagnosis in January with the cervical dystonia, there wasn't much with regards to Botox treatment and what I could find for support in the community with this disability. It's taken a lot for me to kind of get back to where I'm able to just go outside and be at the grocery store and shop and do things like that, when people are looking the way they do at me. Oftentimes they either pass judgment or concern, and there's a lot of staring going on and a lot of murmuring amongst themselves. I may be just sensitive to like being around people, but I used to not be that way. So I'm finally just kind of embracing it and getting back out into the world and really starting to engage with people again. And the fact that like this is just who I am, and I'm gonna move and I'm gonna shake, and it might make people uncomfortable, but it is what it is. The cervical dystonia has led to problems with my trigeminal nerve in my face, and it has caused extreme pain within that nerve and basically misfirings. It just kind of does whatever it wants whenever it wants, and I get these sharp shooting pains down my cheek here. um, I was getting them down my jawline here, but very few and far between. And I I will very rarely get like super sensitive scalp pain, which is like super weird because you're like, what did I do to my head? Um, but the main one is this one that runs like this part of my cheek. It causes my face to feel like I've got spasms in my eye. It makes it feel like I've got tooth pain. It itches sometimes like so bad to the point that I'm incredibly concerned about my skin right here and how much I itch it and scratch it, and trying not to do that anymore because I'm hyper aware of it now, and so I'm trying not to do that, and trying to be kinder to my skin. But I really wanted to just kind of get this started and say, hey, if you're out there and you're suffering from cervical dystonia or trigeminal pain, you're not alone. There's